Hello and welcome to the Growing Pair, I think episode 20.
Yes, episode 20.
Wow, episode 20. My name is Isaac Goldfarb and with me here is...
James Edge.
Hello, James.
Bonjour.
It's really weird because it's Wednesday today and usually we're recording our episodes on Fridays, but we had to move it due to some plans in the way. What are you up to on Friday? Tell us all.
Well, I have a festival in London that I'm going to.
Festival. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Didn't see you as a festival person, James. Every day is a school day.
Yeah, no, I love it. I think what I love the most is the energy of people who just want to kind of not worry about things in life for a bit, and it's a cool vibe.
It's a moment to disconnect from the real life noise to a different type of noise.
Yeah, I'd say reconnect to what we are in our spirit.
And what makes us happy. So the topic I'm bringing today, it's in my head in the last 2 days following a conversation I had with someone, and it's around the word blame. I wrote a long post about it in LinkedIn and how easy it is for us when something is going wrong, put a finger. Whether it's putting a finger on ourselves, oh, it was my fault, or whether I'm putting a finger on you, oh, it was your fault. But this is almost like an automatic response, which I don't think helps in any way. Where was it helping that you blamed someone from doing something or you blamed yourself from doing something? Did it fix the issue? Did it
Yeah.
correct the issue? So that's the topic I would like us to explore. The word blame.
Yeah, so I think for me, the reason I don't think it's beneficial in the situation is because it's past looking, right? Focus on the past. This is what's happened. I'm trying to look for reasons as to why it happened, and looking into the past does not add benefit to the current situation. So that's why I think for me, it's not a thing I like to do a lot.
So what would you say for a person that will tell you, but looking at the past, make you learn from mistakes to have a better future?
That's different than blaming. That would be learning from things that happened in the past. But blaming means justifying who should take the responsibility for what's happened just now. And that's a different question than what can we gain insight wise from the past to help us.
So what do you think makes people going to the blame game quite automatically?
Maybe many things. One would be a fear that people are going to think it's them. So they want to blame something else. It might kind of justify how they're feeling now. If they're really like panicked and anxious, if they can apportion blame for it, then at least it's like, okay, well, all my anxiety and thingy is happening now because of X. So it kind of gives a reason in their head as to why they're feeling the way they are. But for me personally, I think it is the one like you kind of knee jerk is like, oh, well, it wasn't me. I didn't do it. It's not my responsibility. So
But a lot of people saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, it was my fault." Some people take it like almost apologetic in a way, where the person I spoke to
true.
the other day, she just came to a call and then she said to me, "Something happened and it's my fault." And I'm like,
Mm,
hold on a second. What do you mean? I helped her to understand in a conversation of 10 minutes or so that A, it wasn't her fault, but B, taking the fault just making you much more weaker, or you are losing your confidence by doing that. The way I see it, when we kind of thinking straight away, oh, it was that to blame or me to blame, or that, we kind of finding a solution to the feelings we are having.
mm,
But we are making things worse by doing that. We are
mm.
not helping to solve the problem.
Yep.
We are not helping ourselves to feel any better, or to the person we are blaming to feel any better.
Yeah.
Word blame, which I wrote it in the post as well, is hiding the word lame in it. And it's
Mm.
very lame to use the word blame.
Yeah, it's interesting that I didn't think about it the other way, where people maybe over blame themselves. So that's a good point. And yeah, like you said, it justifies how they feel in the moment. Yeah, it's an interesting one. Didn't think about that.
I have two questions, two scenarios. One scenario is a client come to you and sit in front of you and telling a story and tells you, oh, it was my fault. And I'm like, feeling regretful I did it and I didn't need to do it. And it's like, and
Mm.
what would your response be?
Well, I'd kind of pick up on the word "it's my fault." When do they start believing it was their fault? How long have they been thinking things has been their fault? Because I guess my intuition would be they've been doing this a lot. They've been saying that a lot to themselves. it's my fault, whether that's come from them, whether it's come from someone else saying them to them that it's their fault. And now they've kind of taken on that language in their own head, probably delve into that.
And what would you say to a person that comes to you and say, "Oh, you told me to do X, Y, Z, and look what happened." As a life coach, that can happen.
First of all, I wouldn't have anyone saying I told them to do that because I don't offer advice in my life coaching.
No, but it could be that that's what I understood. Remember, we are dealing with people that something happened to them, so
Hmm.
they will try to find comfort almost by
Hmm.
finding a target. And there are people like that. There are people that I'm not saying they're mean or doing it from a bad place, but they're doing
Mm.
it because they're trying to find some sort of a relief. If you hear kids' language,
Hmm.
especially if you hear my kids' language, but if you hear kids' language, you will hear how they quite easily and fast blame each other from
Mm.
doing something.
Yeah.
Something that we carry on from childhood, isn't it? And I don't know what's in the childhood makes they use the word or to blame so easily.
It's fear, right? Because if you're using something from childhood, it's going to be something like fear or anxiety. So, coaching example you gave me there, they said you told me to do this last week, and this is what happened. It's fear that what's happened is bad, or it didn't get the outcome they wanted. Now they're feeling rubbish. So then it's kind of a fear of dealing with that situation, or fear that consciously they know that they did it, but they're too scared to admit that, so need to apportion the blame to someone else. So that's why I think we do it, because as adults now, we don't necessarily need to act like kids for in those situations.
Mhm.
So probably a fear there as to why they're acting like that.
While you were speaking, all I can think about is the word survival. Because what kids do, they don't have that depth of thinking, they just do.
Mm,
And maybe by using the blame is a kind of a survival mechanism
yeah.
that some of us carrying it to our adult life and we don't really taking care of that part of us in order to understand what this blame game do really. It's part of us inside unless you are taking care of it and understand. So you've done work with yourself probably to
Mm,
understand there is no point for me. Blame is looking at the past. There is no point of looking at the past. There is point looking at the future. And in that
yeah.
sense, in that way, you're kind of taking care of that blame part.
Well, I'm thinking what came out there is one of my childhood memories. Me and my sister, we used to play in one of the sinks and use all like the shampoos and stuff my mum bought from her trips, make potions. And yeah, we'd make a mess. And if I dropped it all over the floor, parents would come in. I'd say, like, I'd blame my sister. And likewise, if she dropped it, she would blame me. And it's obviously because we were both scared of like being told off by our parents. So you just go with the easiest person to blame, i.e., that. So you can do that nowadays if you're scared of being told off, whatever that is, maybe dealing with the consequences or how someone's going to react to what you've done. And the easiest thing is to blame something familiar in the coaching relationship. Maybe you've been speaking to your coach a lot. It's easy to just say, oh, it's your fault. Blame someone familiar. So yeah, kind of reminded me of that.
Interesting. The sob story. Just yesterday, I had to deal with a sob story with my kids, but a lot of people use that as jokes as well. You know,
Blame.
yeah, it's like kind of humoristic almost to make a joke, but
Mm,
underlining it using the word
mm,
the blame. So it's quite an interesting one. Where is the border? Every joke, every humor is like there is kind of hidden
yeah.
bit of
Do you
truth
mean
there.
do you mean like a joke where you just say, "Oh, well, it's all your fault," like tongue in cheek? Is that what you mean?
Either that or using a different language without saying your fault. But
Yeah,
like I said to him, I remember, you know what? I remember the episode when we recorded with Ben. I said to
yeah,
you a joke when he mentioned, when he did a recap, I said to you
yeah,
something on the line, how I should have invited him, James, because he's doing a better job than you. And there was like,
yeah,
there was nothing there, but there, you could have, interpreted as blame, like, oh, I think that doesn't think, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
there is fine line between blaming and joking and
Mm.
using humor and all of that.
Well, then, yeah. But on the flip side of that, it's up to the person. So you may say that comment, but then it's up to the person how they take it, right? If it's someone who maybe has been, let's say, thought they've been blamed a lot in life, maybe childhood or in a relationship or whatever, they may take that to heart and it might impact them. Or, someone who hasn't maybe or has worked on themselves, that they don't read into things or blame themselves too often, will shrug it off and laugh. So yeah, I guess it comes down to the person as well.
So what we are talking about here is there is the blamer, let's call it the blamer, the person
Yeah.
that makes the blame, whether they blame themselves or others. And
Hmm.
then there is the blamed,
Yeah.
and the person, either the person himself or the other person that was blamed. That's a very interesting one because we need to identify those two as two different personals.
Yeah.
And how should we treat each one of them? Let's treat the blame and let's understand what it means when we
Mm.
are using the blame as an exercise, almost as a routine, almost
Mm.
of finding relief for whatever happened. And there is the blamed, which needs to practice how not to take it in, or
Mm.
what's the best way of taking that blame if a point was fingered. It's very, very interesting.
Yeah, yeah, it is. Good topic.
Let us know what blame means to you, what the blamer and the blame. Do you recognize yourself as a blamer, blamed,
Mm.
both?
Yeah.
That it's maybe a good title there, James, for the metadata.
Which of those two, if you had to take one of those roles, which role would you prefer, the blamed or blamer?
Or maybe neither. It's an option as well.
Yeah.
And like, comment, subscribe, share, do everything you can do in order to help us to grow the growing pair. Check our website. James, what's our website?
It's thegrowingpair.com and our email is thegrowingpair@gmail.com. And yeah, we also have our TikTok, which is at the growing pair.
And we are so out there now, right? 20 episodes in, and we are like everywhere,
Yeah.
almost everywhere. Soon on your local buses, yeah? Two things you're taking from today session.
One is I do think you can link blaming back to kind of childhood memories because your parents blame you a lot for as well as you blaming people for other things. So that's quite an interesting one. And yeah, what you said at the beginning, that I automatically thought a lot of people just blame everyone else, but there are some people who blame themselves for everything. So it's to be cognizant of that in conversations with people as well. How about you?
What we arrived to the end that, I thought about blame a lot, but I didn't think about splitting between the blamer and the blamed.
Mm.
And one thing is the blamer and the other thing is the blamed. And those two things I'm going to take away and think even more about. Thanks for that. I think more about this topic because, as you said, the blamed, probably the blamed is coming, is us when we are kids. Most likely the parents will do it whether they mean it or not. They will say,
Mm.
oh, why did you do that, kind of thing, even when from, so the blamed is within us. With that, as we grow up, we are developing ourselves to be blamers. What is the right place, or where is it? I don't know what is the right age to start investigating ourselves.
Mm.
How to let the blamer and the blamed go. We don't need them. They are not helpful at all.
Mm.
And until next time, see you very, very soon.
Adios.